everybody, and welcome to another pickup video for the month of October.
Yay.
So I'm here. I'm host Jonathan Moody, and I'm with my co-host, as always,
Paul A. Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow. Moo.
And we have our monkeys here. Please show yours. What's yours, monkey?
Always ready to show my monkey to everybody. This is Continuity Monkey.
And I have not shown him in a while. This is my little buddy. He's still skinny as heck. He needs to eat some pizza or something.
There you go. With pizza with bananas.
Pizza with bananas. But,
well, I guess you could get banana peppers, but it's not the same thing.
We also have my pet monster in the back there because he was in my net, and I tried to put him back, and it was a pain in the butt. So I thought, let's just leave him in the back there.
Great name for a movie title.
What?
My Pet Monster.
Oh, it already is. There's already a movie. Yeah, based on that guy right there. That's what got me into him. Was he had his own cartoon and he had his own movie, live action movie. I love you can find the live action movie on YouTube, and I love it.
Cool.
To this day still. Where did I put the Blu-rays? All right, so we're gonna explain to everybody what this is while I look for the movie.
So this is our monthly haul update where we talk about the Blu-rays and the movies we get. Normally I go for decent films, or at least, really, really good films in Blu-ray, and leave my stinkers for DVD. On the other hand, lately it seems like a lot of stinkers have been creeping into my Blu-ray collection just because you can get them fairly cheap these days. And if you're going to spend a few bucks, on a crappy stinker, what's the difference if you spend an extra $1 and get it in Blu-ray? So, it's just helping expand it. I'm not going to have the kind of Blu-ray collection that Jonathan has, because I still think I like the value in DVDs, especially for some of the cheap, stinky movies. But when the opportunity comes, and these two movies that I happen to have are perfect examples of stinkers that I normally would not have gotten up until my change of attitude towards Blu-rays for certain stinkers this particular year. So there you go.
By the way, my roommate Jackie just left to go visit her boyfriend. So while she did that, the dogs might whine or something. Just letting you give me a heads up, and they might come. They like to come in the room and try to get on my lap. So if Zeke gets in my lap, I might have to let him. But
Zeke's a rascal.
He is. I'm a little worried about. I might have to put my pet monster up because they like to eat toys. Hold on 1 second.
Hurry up, Jonathan. Everybody's waiting. Monkey.
Perfect. Perfect. Sorry about that. All right,
so you're doing your Blu-rays first, right?
We're doing my Blu-rays first. So we'll do mine, then his, then mine, and then his again. So for things. So the first ones are Blu-rays. So Jackie and I were going to take the dogs out for a walk one day, and somebody left these out, outside. And I was like, I looked at them to see if they were dirty or messed up or anything. They were in mint condition. So one of them was called Red Mist. Red Mist. I've never heard of this. It stars Ariel Kebel, or I think it's
I've seen the DVD for that. I didn't pick it up, but I have seen that. I just didn't see it on Blu-ray though.
Yeah. So that's one movie. And then this was a find that was left out, and that was The Exorcist.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so Blu-ray with both the original cut and the director's cut. Extended
I have that. It's excellent.
Yeah, my friend Vittorio owned it and let me borrow it once, but I never owned it. So now it's mine, Weird, what you find randomly and stuff.
Nice to get free. There's nothing cheaper than free.
Right? That was kind of perfect. And
there you go. LA, where there's so many movies and things going on there, just free, floating around out there.
Probably because people don't like movies like we do, like that out there. I think I feel like in LA they're sick of movies, so they don't really care about them as much as we do. So
Wow.
I'm living in the right state, I guess. And then I went and got Redbox, right? And you can buy movies at Redbox, by the way. So you just get the case, but you don't get the actual like the case. And there are some movies like I just don't care, but I kind of want to own it, but I want to rent it, but it'll cost like $3 more just to own it, so I might as well own it, and I bought The Hunt, which is the Blumhouse movie. I've been kind of wanting to see. It's like Democrats versus Republicans. Perfect movie for today, which is election day, but it's like, apparently it's like the most dangerous game where they set the people out and they try to hunt the political party. I don't know which side it's on. I think it's the Democrats like try to hunt the Republicans. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be the exact opposite. I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard mixed reviews. Some people like it and some people think it didn't go as far as it could have gone, kind of thing.
Blumhouse is a real mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. So that being said, we're moving on to your Blu-rays. So,
all right, I just have 2 Blu-rays this time, but they're both pretty darn quality. And our very first one I got, I don't even remember where I got it, but I know I got it for a couple bucks. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I own that, but I think I own the Scream Factory version or something.
Okay.
Or Arrow version.
Oh, you got the Arrow version. Yeah, this is just, I think, a regular version.
Mm-hmm.
It does have some special features.
He's got like commentary.
Audio commentary. There's 5 featurettes. There's some deleted scenes. And there's director's commentary. So not too shabby.
Yeah.
And the second one is due to the fact that we covered this on Indie Film Cafe. And at the time, I'm like, man, I wonder if this ever came out on Blu-ray. How awesome would that be? And lo and behold, they had it, and they had it on Amazon. So, Octoman.
Oh, that's right. You told me that you had that. All right.
That's right. My goodness, this silly, ridiculous squid monster from 1971. This is the special edition and artwork on here. This is not the 40th anniversary issue, unfortunately. So at some point, I'd love to get the 40th anniversary issue. But this is the version that comes packaged with Harry Essex's second film, The Cremators. So there's actually 2 movies on there.
That's awesome.
So Octoman and The Cremators.
Cremators better?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. It's weirder. It's these aliens from outer space, but there's like they're like balls of fire, and they roll over people and burn them up.
They really do cremate people. All right.
Exactly. Awesome. It's very strange. So there are actually 2 Blu-rays, but it's 3 Blu-ray movies.
Right. Exactly. So 3 movies, but on 2 of them on 1.
Right.
That sounds awesome. So we're gonna go on to DVDs now. I have to explain this. I have 3 DVDs, but I also have 8 movies that I've bought, on digital. So I don't know how you feel about that necessarily. Paul, if you buy movies on digital, like to keep or whatever. But I've sort of been doing that for a lot of my friends' movies and stuff. Some that I can't find at Walmart. So I just buy them there or I have them that day. And a lot of them are like $10 a movie. So it's not.
Yeah, if it's something that I really, really, really cannot get anywhere else, I'll do that. But, there's a lot of sources out there that you can sort of download stuff for free. I try not to do that too often, but, there's certain things like you'll see one of my DVDs is one that I actually put in for the Indiegogo because, when it comes to like friends stuff, I try to support them when I can and try to pay for videos when I can on DVD, sometimes Blu-ray if I'm lucky.
So to go along with my Blu-rays that I got, there was one DVD that was out by the trash. So, I was like, wow, all right. And it's Saul, but it's like the uncut edition, which I don't know if I have or not, But I have a bunch of Saws. I just didn't, I just grabbed it and put it out. And if I have it, I have an extra copy, which Saw's not a bad movie. And it's got it's the edition that has like commentary. And I believe it's got the short that Saw was, based off of. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But it's got commentaries and
Mini Saw.
yeah, it does have the director's original short. So there you go. And
so
then
was that like a proof of concept kind of thing?
yeah, it was the way they raised the money through investors. They made this short.
That's kind of cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah, so just kind of showed that James Wan knew what he was doing, which I think he's a fantastic director. At least he knows shots. He knows how to visually tell a story and everything.
Good thing he went with Saw instead of Screwdriver, because that wouldn't have worked so well.
Actually, I mean, maybe. Hey, I made a movie called Screwdriver, so like a short film, so whatever.
I drank screwdrivers back in the day.
That was what it was about.
Nice.
A girl drank a screwdriver, a person roofied her screwdriver, and she knocked out. So there you go. Anyway, the other DVD that I got that like a friend of mine sent me a copy. This is a movie we will be I will be reviewing for Quick Review Thursday. It's called Remnants. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
It stars Jim Crut from Dawn of the Dead, Gus Zuko, Hilary Steyer, Monique Dupree, Mel Heflin.
Yay, Mel Heflin.
And George Stover, who's been in a lot of movies and from Maryland and everything. He's got tons of people in it. So I've been wanting to check it out. Just haven't watched it yet because I'm going to watch it right before I do the Quick Review Thursday. And it'll be next week we start Quick Review Thursday. And we'll get into all of that. That's going to be part of the update, telling you guys what's going on with that. So the other DVD I just got from Redbox, today was another Blumhouse movie that I've been wanting to watch because I've heard it's so terrible. I had to see it. Even if it's bad, I'm like, I gotta watch it. It is Black Christmas, which I've heard is like so man-hating and everything. Like it's like anti-man movie.
Yeah, this is the remake, right?
Right, the new remake from Blumhouse. And
I've heard this was bad.
I have heard it was bad, but I still want to see it, and I want to review it for our Mainstream Tuesday. So we're gonna Mainstream Tuesday, then Quick Review Thursday. I don't know if Paul will be joining us on much of the mainstream one, unless you see a movie that.
Well, it's interesting. You could make an argument that Blumhouse isn't quite mainstream. I mean, they're kind of indie, they're kind of not. I mean, they're sort of in between.
I know it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to because I thought about that. I thought would it be good for Quick Review Thursday, or would it be better for the mainstream Tuesday? And I thought, well, it's mainstream enough. Their budgets are pretty high.
I think they started indie, and I think they're trying to become mainstream.
Well, Get Out really pushed them further than they were. So I think, they still try to keep their $1 million to $5 million to 10, I think is the most that they spend on a movie if it's a sequel or something, like the Purge movies. But so whatever. So here is a list of movies that I've bought. And this is in alphabetical order for.
These are the digitals.
So I bought, just recently, I bought a movie called The Amityville Harvest, directed by Thomas Churchill. So I'm really excited for that. I also bought a couple of months ago, I got a movie called Attack of the Unknown, which I'm actually special thanked in the special thanks section. So that's pretty cool. Also got a movie called Collision Earth, which you can actually watch on Prime. And that's the movie that I'm in with Eric Roberts. Fast and Furious Death Race, which my friend, our friend Mackenzie, who we've had on the show.
Oh, yay. I didn't know that.
She did the special effects for that.
Sweet.
And then Her Name Was Krista, which I've seen before and I absolutely love. A Ouija Mummy, which I just reviewed.
Oh, dear.
Which was fun. It was Dustin Hubbard and Seb Godin. I mean, just fun. And then Shark Season, which starred Michael Madsen, done by the Asylum, and also special effects done by Mackenzie. So those were Google Play. And I've got one movie for Vudu, which I just got today, like literally an hour ago. I bought this movie. It's called Blind, and it stars Sarah French, and it's written by Joe Netter and
Sarah French,
directed by Marcel Waltz. So I really, really want to see that. Actually, me and Jackie are planning to watch that together at some point. So that was all of my movies. That's it. That's all I've got so far. So I mean, it's not bad, but considering I really can't buy a lot of stuff, and my Dollar Tree this month didn't really have anything like it did last month. So I was gonna buy. I had like a bunch of them, but I really didn't want to stand in line. And I really did not like. There was not one I like was so tempted to buy, or whatever. So I was just like, never mind.
Right.
All right. So what about you?
Well, a lot of stuff came from the Dollar Tree, I can tell you that.
Good.
For whatever reason, I hit them really hard last month, and I got so many that I had to split it between what I got last month and then some towards this month, because I did go back and get some more. But the very first one is the one I was talking about earlier, and this is the one that I did for the Indiegogo, and it is a Fuzzy Monkey movie, and it is Deathboard.
Sweet.
Yes, Brad Twig, and it's signed. It's got the front sign, the back sign, and then I think the disc itself is signed. Yeah, and then it came with this really cool poster. Let me pull this out, which is also, I believe, signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We love and support the Fuzzy Monkeys. We
always talk about them. So
absolutely. So we will be checking this out and reviewing it at some point. They're the guys who gave us MILFs versus Zombies and Wrestle Massacre, and was it Killer Campout, and I forget the name of that one.
Yeah, Killer Campout. Yeah,
Killer Campout, and there's all kinds of stuff, and they've got all kinds of stuff coming up. So Brad Twig and Company, always a lot of fun.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah. So next, we're getting a lot of stuff from the Dollar Store, and there were some decent, interesting finds.
Dollar Store or Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Yeah, I call them all dollar stores. It doesn't really matter. So the first one is a movie that I had already seen and loved, so when I saw it for $1, I was like, oh yeah, because I'm a physical media guy. I love to have the DVD. And it is Rubber.
Nice.
The Evil Tire.
I think I saw that, and I did not get it for some reason. So I kicked myself for that shit.
Very much fun. And actually, you're going to recognize a few of these from some of the ones you got last time. I ended up picking up a few. So we have American Poltergeist.
Nice.
Which I think, is that an asylum film or a Wild Eye release, rather? Let's see here. Take a real quick look. No. All right, I thought it might have been. Mike Ruchkowski. Don't know him.
Well, who distributed it? Does it say?
Lizzo Movies LLC. Phase 4 Films.
Oh, Phase 4. Okay, Phase 4 puts a lot of stuff on Dollar Tree.
Okay, yeah. And then next we have, and I know you got this last time because it intrigued me. So when I saw it, I was like, ooh, this is the Zan Cassavetes Kiss of the Damned.
Nice.
I definitely would like to check that out. I'm very curious. I've always been a huge John Cassavetes fan. So I had no idea that this is his son, right? Or
Which
daughter.
one? Which one was it? Who
Zan
did it?
Cassavetes.
Zan. I'm not sure. I think it's probably his son. Like another son or something. So
I'm very curious to see, what Killing of the Chinese Bookie is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's a Cassavetes movie. So I'm very curious to see how far the apple fell from the tree. So this will be very cool. It comes with commentary and interviews and all kinds of extra stuff in here. So it should be fun.
Awesome.
Next, we have one that I could, and it's one of those ones that the title looks great and the art looks great. So for $1, why not? Mermaid of the Lake.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome.
Yes. And this is Scream Factory. And it looks like this is a Russian film because there's a whole bunch of Ruski names that I cannot pronounce. So there you go. 2018.
By the way, it's Alexandra Cassavetes is her real name.
Okay.
And I guess she goes by Zan.
Gotcha.
But it's she is. Let me look real quick. If she's like the daughter of. She is doesn't even say. It's got to say in it. There's got to. Daughter of actor director John Cassavetes and actress Gina Rowlands.
Oh, and Gina Rowlands. There you go. So that's a great pedigree.
There you go.
Okay. So the next one is a film called Broken.
Broken. I see.
Yes.
I think was that ITN that put that out. I think so.
This says WSG Pictures, Goldfinch Entertainment.
It doesn't say the distributor on it, like on the look on the
ITN. Yeah. Yep,
okay, ITN put them out. I know that because I know that because I have their Roku channel that they have.
Okay.
And that was one of the movies on the Roku channel.
Yeah, this was written and directed by Sean Robert Smith.
Okay, cool.
So interesting. We'll have to check that out.
Definitely.
Next is one called Night Shift.
Sweet, that looks cool.
I know. I don't really know too much about this. This is a Green Flash Pictures with Blue Shadows. I don't know. I've never heard of either one of those. And it's written and directed by Stephen Hall. And I don't really know a lot of the folks in here. So this is looking pretty darn indie. But it's the site of a motel where a bunch of people got murdered. So
nice.
Should be fun.
Why is it called Night Shift then? Is it? All right, never.
Not 100% sure. We'll have to find out. Have to check it out, and we'll let you know. This one, I saw this box, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to get this. It's called Boo.
Oh yeah.
And this is Vertical Films and Midland Entertainments.
Nice.
So Luke Jaden is the director. Don't know anybody involved in this one. So
it's not Medea's Boo.
No, I would not go near that. Then this one, it's a buck. It's not really a horror film, but it's got Naomi Watts and Clive Owen, and it is Ophelia. The vengeance is hers. So I guess this is all about, Ophelia from Hamlet.
Oh, not Ophelia Rain?
No. I'm thinking Ophelia from Hamlet. And it is directed by Claire McCarty. So that should be interesting.
Awesome.
This is also Shout Factory's and IFC Films.
Shout Factory? Nice.
Yep. And the next one is a film with Minnie Driver and Meatloaf. Called Stage Fright.
Oh, I heard of that film, yeah.
There you go. I had never heard of this before, but so that should be interesting.
I actually heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's like some kind of musical stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, the next couple are American Beast.
Oh, nice. That was good.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this one. This is the unrated version. It is the Ensochmet Films LLC, and it's directed by Livingston Odin and Taylor Scott Olson. And I don't know anybody amongst this, but it looks like a Beast in the Woods kind of thing. Maybe it's a Yeti of some kind.
Nice.
Then this is an
actually
Asian
it shouldn't be a Yeti because Yetis are Himalayans. If it's an American beast, it should be Sasquatch.
Well, I don't know where it's set, so.
Well, if it says American, whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Hey, you never know. It could be a were Yeti and it's an American. Anyway, the next movie is an Asian werewolf movie called Paradox.
Cool.
So this looks kind of fun. Again, it's Asian folks. I don't know anybody in this, but apparently this is part of the IP Man trilogy. Wilson Yip did a bunch of these, and I guess they involve some kind of supernatural critters. So I'll be interested in checking that out.
Nice.
And then this one I think you got last time. It's Paranormal Abductions. Did you get this
Probably,
one?
maybe. I don't know.
It's got Edward Furlong in it and Heather McCone.
Yeah,
And
I think I got that one.
yeah. So I saw that there and snagged it. Let's see here. Oops. Trying to just do all the dollar store ones. All right. Then we have one that I know Dustin Hubbard just talked about. I don't remember if he liked it or not. I don't think he did, but it's The Boat.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We just had Dustin Hubbard and John Ward back again on our show for Indie Film Cafe.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, we talked last night, and then after the show, we ended up talking for like 3 more hours.
All right. So this is one that I had heard about and was interested in, and finding it at the dollar store was pretty darn cool. It is The Neon Demon.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, and this has got Christina Hendricks, and Keanu Reeves is in there for a hot minute, and some other Jenna Malone. So
Nice,
yeah,
I like Jenna Malone.
Oh, love Jenna Malone. So this looks like it could be very interesting. We'll check that out. Next is one that I never heard of at all, and it is called Shuttle.
I've seen that somewhere. I don't think I don't think I own it.
It's Magnolia Home Entertainment, and it's written and directed by Edward Anderson. And I do not recognize anybody in this cast, but it looks like a road trip gone wrong, as they typically do.
Yeah, sounds normal.
Next, we have something called Red Island, and I don't know much about this one either. It is Stardust Pictures, and something directed by Justin Levin Lux, and it's Handshake Films. Don't know these guys.
Sweet.
Okay, and let's see here.
I have a question real quick. Do you watch all of these?
I try to. My list of watching movies is so large that, I try to get the stuff when I can.
I know, but you buy all these. I don't. I've got all those movies tucked away and stuff, and I guess it's I set them up for if I need a rainy day, if I have a rainy day.
Sure.
Not, that's a metaphor, obviously. And I don't think there's really that many rainy days here in LA. When there is, we go crazy because
But when my buddy Gary comes down for a visit, we'll pull out a bunch of them and sit down and get a pizza and sit down and watch a bunch.
Yeah, I need to get I had Eric Spudic for a little bit. I got to get him to come out and watch more of these because he's he writes indie movies, he acts in indie movies, he loves that shit.
Great to have a movie buddy. I had Lenore for a while and then she went away. So
Jackie really doesn't like them. She's more of a mainstream person, and even then she's very picky about movies, period. I mean, they have to really, which was completely fine. I'm not saying, anything bad about that, but I'm just saying it's tough, when I want to watch these things, I have to watch them in my room, or sometimes I can watch them in the living room by myself, but by myself, so I need to get a good, a good movie buddy. I think I'm going to contact Eric and be like, dude, come over.
There you go.
Come over every, once a month at least, and just watch these movies together.
So I got 3 more that I got from the Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, whatever. This one is called Cell Count. Nice. And let's see here. Ted Rooney, Sean McGrath, and Daniel Baldwin. Interesting. And I don't know anybody in this one, but it comes with a bunch of special features, which should be interesting. Then I think you had this one last month, but I'm not sure. But, it's one of those ones you see the title, you see the box cover, and you can't pass it up. Jurassic Predator.
Nice. Yeah, I think I had it or something.
Some kind of critter in the lake. And this is Phase 4 film. So there you go.
Right. Oh,
directed by Amir Valina.
Sweet.
Okay. And then finally, a movie or a guy I did not expect to be in the dollar store. And this is a movie I'd never heard of. So Brian De Palma's Redacted.
I haven't heard of that one either.
Never heard of it either. But it's Brian De Palma, so what the heck?
That's kind of sad, honestly, that Brian De Palma's movies are now going to the Dollar Tree nobody's ever heard of them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know anybody in the film either, so I don't know. It's very interesting. It's supposedly a fictional story based on true events about American soldiers in Iraq. So, give it a try. I mean, it's Brian De Palma. He's always a good director. So give it a try. See what it's like. Okay, my last 4 came from the Book Exchange in Norfolk. I like to go there every now and again, and I hit them up when they had a bunch of stuff. So this should be interesting. The very first one is a movie called The Innkeepers.
You may like that. I'm gonna warn you. It's a slow burn thriller, kind of thing. So if you're, some people don't like slow burn movies.
Oh, I like them as long as they pay off.
Yeah. So I think you'll like it. It's Ty West, if I'm correct.
Right.
And he did. I think he was part of like the VHS group, the guys who did the VHS movies. He was also the guy who did. Oh God, I just had it on the top of my head.
Excuse me.
He did like Cabin Fever 2, or whatever. Like he was that guy at one point that was like the indie darling, who kind of, really sadly, I haven't heard much from him these days, but like that and like the movies like The Guest and stuff like that, those are like the indie movies that kind of got a lot of attention back then.
Okay.
And everything. So
well, I think
you'll like it.
Very cool. Very cool. So Book Exchange movie number 2 is Long Time Dead. I don't know much about this one, but I do know Lucas Haas is in it.
Nice.
And it's directed by Marcus Adams. It's a working title film. And Joe Absalom, Laura Belmont, Melanie Guthridge. There you go. So
all right.
Okay. Numero 30 is a movie called Hunted.
It looks like a vampire movie.
Looks like a vampire film.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if it wasn't? Like the cover was a vampire, but like it was about like a serial killer.
Tricked you. It's directed by, written and directed by David Schultz. So I don't know that person. Kim Coates is in it.
Oh, wow.
Kim
Yes,
I've
met him. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's always good.
He was very sweet to my sister. My sister was a huge fan of his and came just to see the Sons of Anarchy people, to Scares That Care. And her, she went crazy to meet Kim. Like she was like, oh, I don't want, I didn't want to get an autograph. I just wanted to meet you. And he was like, do you want a picture? Like for free, or whatever. And took a picture with her for free for her.
Nice.
And I thought that was like sweet as hell. Like,
sure.
So I talked to him about me putting him in a movie someday. And he was like, kind of giving me this, like, you can afford me someday.
Yeah,
kind of thing, like he's probably pretty expensive.
Well, I'm sure.
But well worth it.
So last one from the Book Exchange, and this is an interesting film. When I saw it, I never heard of it before, but it's got a great cast, and it's a Lionsgate film, and it is Frankenstein with Parker Posey, Vincent Perez, Michael Madsen. And it's from Marcus Nispel, the director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003.
Please tell me Michael Madsen plays Victor Frankenstein. Please tell me.
I don't know.
Or he can't play what?
Parker Posey's in it. Oh, and Adam Goldberg is in it.
But I'm just saying, if he's not playing him, I want him to play the monster,
well, look, he's got a white coat on. There he is. So it's got to be.
Oh my God, that's awesome! That just makes my day. God, oh man, Michael Madsen.
But it looks like Vincent Perez is playing the monster called Deucalion. So it's not quite Frankenstein. It looks like it's a version of Frankenstein. But it comes with a featurette called Mayhem, Monsters and Mayhem, Inside the Making of. So it's a 30-minute thing, and then there's audio commentary and trailers and all kinds of cool stuff. So there you go.
What year was it? What year did it come out?
2004.
2004?
2004.
Hold on, I'm finding out. I'm looking him up right now because I need to find out if he played Dr. Victor Frankenstein or not. Because like that just, I'm gonna want to buy that movie. Where did you get it?
At the Book Exchange in Norfolk. Although it says here the renowned scientist Victor Helios. So I don't know if this is, following Frankenstein exactly. And it's executive produced by Martin Scorsese.
No, but do you know who he plays? Detective Harker.
There you go.
This makes okay, so I understand with us doing Supernatural Assassins using that stuff or whatever because we're not in the actual world, like that. But like having, Detective Harker, and Victor Helios and Dr. Victor Helios. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Who is Parker Posey playing? That's what I'm dying to know. She was like an indie darling for a long time, and this is not the movie I would expect her to be in.
Detective Carson O'Connor.
And I love Parker Posey. She's so wonderful.
I know. She's sweetheart, seems like. So, but was that it?
That is finally it.
Oh, okay.
It's 24 DVDs. So all those movies for, just under $25. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Can't beat that.
Half hour later. But yeah, no, that was great. I love that. You scored big.
So I
just don't have money for that shit.
Well, generally I don't either, but for $1 a piece, that's not so bad. And I pretty much burned that dollar store to the ground. I rated them for all that they're worth. So there you go. I got a few already started for the December haul, but I don't think it's going to be as big as this. Yeah.
So I guess it's update time to kind of let people know what we're doing in the month of November. So October has come and gone, and I did the 31 days of indie horror, and I'm done. Thank God.
And I did not because I'm lazy.
No, I think it's you don't have time.
I don't.
I have a lot more time on my hands than you do. But I am doing 30 days of thankfulness, which is just writing what you're thankful for every day, like different things of what you're thankful for. So that's easy. I guess since we still want to put content out there on the YouTubes, because in January, Sick Flick TV comes out, and we are like this is going to be the last month of all those, all the ones we do, like except for Indie Film Cafe Spotlight, that'll still come on starting back in January. That'll start coming. We'll have like 1 month free, and then. Actually, we're doing something different for that, so I'm really excited to talk about this. So for Indie Film Cafe Spotlight, Paul and I thought it would be a great idea, right? You agreed that this would be a great idea. Is that like the original plan was to do Indie Film Cafe Spotlight and have a spotlight more on filmmakers who we've reviewed their films on Indie Film Cafe or something, generally. So. That's our plan, is to find directors, actors, writers, producers, whoever's, a part of the films that we love. If we can get Neil Breen on this show for an interview, we'll do it.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. If I can get him, why can't he do a Zoom? Like, I don't,
He's probably a very, very busy man. He's saving the world because he's Neil Breen and we're not. And, hey, we had a great special guest who I'm not going to mention because the final episode hasn't come out yet, hasn't dropped yet.
Yeah, it's going to drop this Friday.
Friday, so check it out, and you'll get a good idea of what we're talking about.
I've already announced it on my page, but I have not announced it on the official Indie Film Cafe page, I don't think yet. So We can't wait. We can't wait for you guys to see it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it's almost an hour and a half long of an interview. I was a little shocked, but a little happy that we were able to get that much out.
Right.
So this was fun. But we can't wait for that. And so I guess it's perfect that it's almost an hour and a half, because it's like the final, it's the final episode of the season.
And we had some really good ones. I mean, Kevin Strange was on earlier; he was really good, and we had a number of other folks that were on.
Brink Stevens,
yeah. So some great stuff.
And so we have interviewed people who we've watched their movies and have reviewed. So, I mean, we are keeping it mainly to it, but we did. I mean, there was, even from the very first one I did, Sheldon Letters. We haven't actually watched any of his movies. So, I mean, there was a couple that we did that wasn't, but it was just, at that time, it wasn't like necessarily specified.
Well,
that's what we wanted to do. Plus,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it can be people that we've watched their movies or we want to watch their movies.
Right.
For the show.
And Sheldon Lettich did all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. And so, we've already done No Retreat, No Surrender. So eventually we're going to do, I'm sure we'll do Kickboxer or so, or actually I know for Hollywood Knockbusters, one day I want to do Kickboxer 2 for that, because I think that's perfect for that. But anyway, so
I know Joe would be excited for that. I know he loves the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Well, actually, Kickboxer 2 was not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Wasn't it?
No, that was the first one. Was the second one was Sasha Mitchell, and
okay.
Yeah, he took over and did 2, 3, and 4, and then Mark Dacascos, who is my other favorite martial artist. Back when I was growing up, because I took karate, so I really watched all these karate movies that were in the 90s, and I love Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I love Sasha Mitchell and Mark Dacascos the most. And Mark Dacascos took over and did part 5, which didn't have anything like other than its name. I think it was originally called The Redemption, and then they were like, let's just call it Kickboxer 5, The Redemption, So it was not. It didn't. I think they tried to tie it in like loosely, but it wasn't like he was a Sloan brother anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, we haven't reviewed one yet, but I've got a pile of Cynthia Rothrock movies that I know are going to make an appearance at some point on Indie Film Cafe. Just one of many people that I love in the Indian B movie community that I just haven't gotten to quite yet, but she's on the list.
Well, there you go. So, all right. So we got that. So Indie Film Cafe Spotlight is ending this month for the season is ending. Then season 2 starts back up the first Friday in January. We've also are bringing out this month. We're starting a couple new podcasts. Well, I am. One's called Hooked on Hitchcock, which is me and G. Larry Butler talking about being hooked on Hitchcock. And we're basically talk about his more obscure movies first. Later we'll probably dive into the more popular ones.
It's interesting because I just rewatched one that I hadn't seen in a while that I really liked, and I kept thinking, is this something I want to save for Criterion Watch? But I'm not sure if there's a Criterion version or is it Film Freaks. But have you ever seen Jamaican Inn?
I have not. It is not for Criterion right now, but it would definitely be a good Film Freaks.
And it's so unlike most of his other movies. This is kind of why I like it.
Good. He does that a lot. He'll change up his thing. Like he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was like a broad comedy, which is not. He wanted to do an American comedy, and everything. And then they changed it with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and made the Mr. and Mrs. Smith that one, which I've not seen, but I don't.
Yeah, that didn't look like the kind of movie I had any interest in.
Yeah, but I do love Brad Pitt. Like I do. I generally like a lot of his movies that he's in. So I like him as an actor. But anyway, so we still got Hollywood Boulevard podcast that'll be going into its, I want to say 4th or 5th season. It might be 5th. I don't know. Whatever. It's up there now because we did 1, 2, 3. I think it can't be third. I don't know, but it is. We are excited. We got Alfred Crane coming back, obviously, and then we've got Joe Turk who will be taking over too. So we're finishing up the season today, like in November. We record tomorrow, which will be today. When this comes out on a Wednesday. So it'll be whatever. So it'll be that day. Also, Horror Film Lovers is coming back. So we started that. I think like the end of end of 2018. No, wait, end of 2019 and going into 2020. And I was planning to do it. And then there's just too much shit going on. And so I kind of put it on back burner, and I didn't really have a co-host because too many people are doing too much stuff with me. And I didn't want to keep asking people to do like a million things. Like I can ask you because you were doing a million stuff. I can ask Joe. He was doing a million stuff. We were doing the mainstream, which is gone. And now he's doing Hollywood Boulevard. And Donnie Sturgis is no longer with us for Hollywood Boulevard. So that's kind of sad.
Oh, okay.
He's no longer anywhere. Like, I don't know where he is. He's disappeared off of social media and all this stuff. So I don't know. He went through a lot, and stuff with his life. So whatever. So he's done. And so we had to get a new third person to talk movies with. And Joe happens to be our third person. So, which is great because he was part of Film Freaks, the first Film Freaks episode.
We've been trying to get him more involved in some of our stuff too.
Yeah. So he's really happy to be involved in that. And then what else? So we got those. All right, I'll tell you guys this because it's not going to happen right now, but it may happen eventually. I was going to do a Disney show that focused on the more obscure Disney movies or whatever that I grew up loving and, and such, and, chance to watch things on Disney Plus. But there's just too much going on right now. If I did it, I would just be too busy. And I have Sick Flick TV to run, and I write a lot, and I'm trying to produce content for Sick Flick TV. So I have way too much stuff going on right now that I just can't do it. And yet, I say that now because maybe in about like June of 2021 or fall of 2021, I may start doing that or something, Plus, I haven't really found somebody to do it with necessarily. So I found a friend who said she would, and then I've not heard from her, So
ghosted.
Well, no, I mean she's busy. Like people I'm contacting are actors and stuff, and they are we can go right into talking about Sexploitation Sleazecast, which stars Paul and co-hosted by Rebecca Reinhart. And Rebecca Reinhart is also part of 80s horror films and podcast that we do with Julianne Prescott, Joe Gonzalez, and Mackenzie Kelly is going to be joining us on that as well. And the problem is these women are so busy. Like getting them all together at the same time is like pulling teeth. Some days we may not be, some months we may not have somebody because they're shooting, or something,
But, Sexploitation Sleazecast so far, we dropped one episode. That was the Bat Pussy one, the infamous Bat Pussy. That went really, really well. So look for the middle of the month because the new one will be coming out soon. The other thing I wanted to mention. Huh?
Did you record it?
No, not yet. It's coming.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to mention is we do have one more little stinkers to drop. Do we not?
Yeah, we haven't dropped
Before
it.
That ends
it drops
run.
On Saturday.
There you go. So one more little stinkers, and then that's going to go on hiatus for a bit. I know I have at least 2 other podcasts that I'd love to do, but I just can't do it right now. So we have stuff we'd love to cycle in. at some point, it may be a good idea if we found somebody else who was interested in doing something, who might want to do a podcast for Indie Film Cafe and Sick Flick Productions. If you're interested out there and you have a great idea and you know movies and you love them, hit us up.
Yep.
Let us know.
We are definitely a movie podcast thing. We don't talk about anything but movies or television.
Right.
Speaking of which, classic horror television took a hiatus. I think we only did like 2 or 3 episodes. It wasn't as well received or whatever. Like people just didn't seem to care as much for it. And so I kind of put that on the back burner. Plus, honestly, there's not as many horror television shows as, so if I had done like classic television, or something and added just about TV and like our favorite shows or something, which might be a thing.
Something like that.
And, yeah, that might be a thing. Like I may do that at some point. It won't be called classic television, but it'll be called something, and with TV. So it's just right now, no. There's just too much going on right now. I just don't have time. And as we said before earlier, we've got Quick Review Thursday. We've got the Mainstream Tuesday. And we're going to be doing Short Film Saturday again. So we're going to have my plan was to have podcasts be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then video casts be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So that's going to end up being the thing is like
with a day of rest on Sunday. Ugh.
Well, originally we also had Shark Attack Sunday before, but we're not gonna do that yet. We might bring that back at some point. But we were doing a good thing where we were trying to get people to send us videos. So we may do that again because as long as anybody wants to do it, we could do it once a month and post like, Shark Attack Sunday and have somebody like, review a shark movie. I know John Ward loved doing that. Sean Ward, like that's one of his favorite things is watching.
Do they have a lot of shark movies out there?
Are you kidding me? It was so funny because one of my favorite videos from the Angry Video Game Nerd was he did the 50 shittiest shark movies. And he had 50, right? And then he said that there were a couple that he wasn't able to put in because they just came out at the time he was, so they were making more shitty shark movies at the rapid pace that he was even putting up the, list. They're still coming
out faster than he can review them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great. I would love to do a shitty shark movie podcast. I would love to do an Abominable Snowman movie podcast. I'd love to do a vampire movie podcast. I mean, there's just so much out there. It's difficult.
If we did that, it would be like a creature feature podcast, episode. So you could do sharks, you could do yetis, you could do wendigos, all those different creatures. And I would do that. Like I would be down with another podcast like that eventually. Maybe, right. Like I said, maybe in June or fall of next year when we're kind of wrapped on a couple of the other podcasts we're already doing, or something. Because, I think, that's the beauty of a lot of these things. Also, originally we were going to say goodbye to Frights the Roundtable for a while. And I was like, fuck it, let's bring it back. We've also got a new show called Living on the B-Side, which I can't wait to start doing. I have not recorded it yet, but I've got my guy set up for the first episode. And originally I had somebody else, but they couldn't make it. So I'm gonna go with someone else. I never got a date back from the other person. So I've got somebody set up, and what I'm gonna do with that is we're going to talk with B-movie filmmakers, actors, whatever, people in B-movies, and we're going to talk about their personal life in a way, like not too personal, but we're going to talk about kind of dive into their life and what kind of made them become who they are in the business and stuff. And I like that. I always like hearing more deep interviews than just, people saying, so what was this movie like? What was it like working on this movie? How was this director to work with? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like hearing that anymore. I'm tired of it. Like, I want people to kind of go deep into, who they are and like what made them who they are, kind of thing. And those are the kind of interviews I like to listen to these days. Kind of changed my thing. Like, either that or writing stuff. So the writers process podcast will be back next year, just not yet, but when I start really, I want, that's another thing I want to start talking about is writing again, because I love writing. It's a passion of mine, and I love talking about it. You can get some really good, good stories from people, from writers and everything. But I'll eventually bring that back next year. I mean, we're still going to be busy.
Oh yeah.
And Sick Flick TV will be producing content. That's our plan and stuff, like original content. So, the 2021 will still be a very busy year, even with COVID still lingering around.
And some of the other shows we will most likely bring back at some point. They'll cycle back in. Forgotten Horror Classics hasn't gone away forever. It's just kind of gone away for the moment while I'm concentrating on Sexploitation Sleazecast. And, there are a couple of other podcasts that I'd like to also do at some point, but, you can only do so much when you're working full time. So.
Yeah, and I love that you got Rebecca to do the podcast with you.
She loves it. She's so full tilt into it. It's amazing. She's so enthusiastic. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, she's fantastic. I love her. She's so. She's so into everything.
Some of these movies are sketchy as hell. So, and she's, the crazier, wackier, and sketchier, the better. I'm like, where have you been all my life?
I know, seriously. Especially for our podcast stuff, we need that. Because there's some movies like, What the Fuck Friday movies and stuff, which unfortunately, What the Fuck Friday and Film Freaks and Criterion Watch are taking hiatus. And that is because, well, A, a lot of these podcasts are coming and we're just so busy. And B, also because we've done 2 seasons of them,
Keeping it fresh,
Yeah.
Keep it in a rest.
We've done 2 seasons. That's like a good amount, and we're just ready to kind of like start doing some other stuff for now.
Right, and all those episodes are still available. You can still see them on YouTube, and we are going to probably end up putting that out on Sick Flick TV too, right?
That's our plan. Because we need a lot of content on Sick Flick TV, so there will be an indie film cafe category that you can go and you can kind of see all the different ones, but it probably won't be all of them from right now because we want to.
If some miracle happens and they drop a bucket full of money on the 2 of us, maybe we can start doing all this stuff full time and putting out all kinds of content all the time and not have to worry about a hiatus. But until that happens, we got to get what we can get.
Give us $1 million, and good God, we're ready to go.
We're ready.
That'll be $500,000 each, and we can make
lots
with that.
Lots of ideas for shows, lots of ideas for content. It's just time and money, man. Time and money.
So that's another thing. So there's a lot of stuff we can't talk about just yet because we haven't really announced anything yet, and so we want to keep everything to the forums like Indie Film Cafe on Facebook. We try to keep you guys updated. We push all the videos up there. I just started an Indie Film Cafe Spotlight page, which I don't know why it took me so long to do that, but I'm kind of glad because it's almost at the end, so I can start putting all the videos up there anyway. But I started putting up the videos up there, and so I'm trying to get you guys to watch, to check out these pages and everything. So many. I'm sorry. I would have it just on Indie Film Cafe thing, but there's just so many other stuff going on that I don't want to just have it on one page. Did
I tell you about that other podcast I want to do?
Oh, what?
About the terrible ape and monkey movies?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Yep, and you know what I want to call it? From Romeo and Juliet, Bad Monkey. Because there's a boatload of bad monkey movies out there.
That would be hilarious.
It would be awesome.
I
Again,
would,
I gotta find time. Got to come up with a good, co-host who's really into it or wants to see these crappy, awful ape and monkey movies. It would be fun.
yeah. So with that being said, though, and you brought up a good point, is finding the right people for the podcast and everything. Like you said, you have Rebecca. I've had Alfred and Joe for Hollywood Boulevard. I have Anna Zayden for Fred's the Round Table. She's been a godsend. I love her to death. She just gets so excited to chat with these people, period. So that's really nice, when I have people like that. I think I'm gonna have people on my shows, and everything. Paul and I are planning this. This is a plan that, we're gonna see how this works out. But since everything's through Zoom these days now, and we're kind of doing things through Zoom, and I pay for Zoom, he does not yet. I don't think, right? You're not paying.
Not yet, but it's probably coming for the new year.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. The way that I see it is, we want to do Indie Film Cafe together again, and we can right now actually do episodes with you and me and like another person. So it'll be Paul, me, and somebody else as a special guest. So when it's my movies, it'll be my guest. When it's Paul's movie, it'll be his guests, and he can pick whoever he wants. And all you got to do is just send the movie to the person and everything. Sometimes that may change because Paul has movies that he can't share with me because they're on DVD or VHS and they're not available for streaming, or he hasn't ripped them or anything.
Right. I don't necessarily have digitals for everything, but I've got a lot. So,
Yeah.
There will be times when, say, I happen to have a couple people locally in Virginia that I'll just do a show with them.
Right.
Because, and when I have that, I'll do a movie that I couldn't share anyway. You know what I mean?
And I am planning next month to go back to Virginia, and we are going to try to record a few podcasts together and stuff. So, he's got one for the final episode of the season that he's really planning. Joe will be there for our final or whatever the episode of the season, the wraparound, like the wrap up episode. So we're really excited about that. We will have a special guest we cannot announce yet that will be joining us for the final episode of the season that we can't wait to have. And then hopefully we'll also be able to record the first 2 episodes at least of the new season.
And I did invite Lenore and her sister to come on down. I don't know, it's a possibility, but I haven't heard back yet, so we'll have to see. She's down in North Carolina. She's another one. If she managed to come back up, what a great opportunity. I would love to do a science fiction podcast with her. How perfect would that be? Because she was our resident scientist, and to do science fiction movies, I think she'd really, really get a kick out of that.
Exactly. And maybe it should be called science and then fiction being capitalized because
science fiction.
Yeah, it sounds like all those movies are, generally wrong, and so, it's always fun for Lenore to point stuff out that they, that they get wrong. And that would be a great podcast, honestly.
Oh, yeah. There was one that wasn't a podcast. It was a movie review site that sadly I believe is gone, but it was called You Call Yourself a Scientist? And it was basically looking at some of these movies, and not all the ones that I have, but still, it would have been fun. It would have been a great title. But yeah, so that's something that's in the background that if things work out right, you never know, we might be able to do something like that. But that's why I say there are a lot of niche subjects that are out there. So if somebody's really passionate about a particular kind of film, I would love to do one that's on film noir. I love film noir. I have a whole bunch of great movies that are on film noir that are just fabulous. I don't have time. I
Oh,
don't know.
oh,
No?
I know somebody who would be perfect for that.
Oh, yeah? Ooh.
Tom Conkle. He
Ah, there you
loves,
go.
that's one of his favorite his genres. He made Trouble Is My Business is
That's
a
right.
film
That's right.
noir movie. So I
I'll
will
have
tell
to
you,
talk with him.
yeah, are you friends with him on Facebook yet or?
I don't think so yet. I think I tried. I don't remember.
Okay, well talk to him because he would probably go crazy for that. If you guys could set up like once a month to do it. I think that would be a perfect thing for indie film cafe.
Mhm.
I absolutely love us doing all these podcasts. Thing is, I mean, when things do get busy, it might be harder to put some of the content out or get content, so there may be months or something where we miss something or we're not able to do something. And just bear with us. I mean, it's not like, I mean, if anything, Indie Film Cafe always has put out content every
Absolutely.
month. So,
Absolutely.
and
Twice a month.
this year was the first year that we've done a full 24 episodes. Usually it's 22 with like 1 month being able like free.
Now, people demanded it.
Well, no, I mean we could do it. That's the thing. We were able to do it.
Zoom was great. COVID was a blessing in disguise this
I
year.
know because um that's the beauty of this is just it's what I mean, like we were just
We're
able
using the
to.
magic of Zoom right now as we speak.
I know. Well, obviously people can probably tell, I hope, Um but yeah, so that's the thing. So hopefully people just like understand that we are busy. I mean, there's going to be a lot of content happening, a lot of stuff for all of you guys to check out,
Mm.
and more stuff coming. I mean, like I said, I had the Disney idea. I don't know if I'm gonna when I'm gonna do it. I know I do want to do it, and I don't know if it originally was gonna be a video. It was gonna be part of the YouTube page, but now I might just make it a. I mean, I could do it as a video. It could be like Zoom video.
And we still have the studio. So, once things are loosened up a little bit more, if there's a COVID vaccine that comes out and we can get more people together more freely and get folks back into the studio, we may do some more stuff there. It's just, right now, I wouldn't do anything more than say one or two people just because, why take the chance?
Exactly.
We don't want to be impacted by what's going on right now. We want to stay safe. And because we can use Zoom without any problems, we might as well continue the way we've been going.
Exactly. So I agree with you absolutely 100%. I can't wait for I can't wait for this. This is going 2021 is going to be a busy year filled with podcasts and video casts. I mean, honestly, to be perfectly honest, when I was doing that one video a day, our YouTube went up higher, subscribers got higher, I don't know how that necessarily worked, but we're up to like 215, I think now, and we were at like 198 or something before
See,
this.
you'll have to do it again next month.
No. Was it December, like the 25 days of or
What's that first day of Christmas, second day of Christmas, all that? You never know.
I don't know. We will be doing Christmas themed episodes in December. There will be a few. I know for horror film lovers, there will be one that's Christmas themed. I think we're doing a Thanksgiving themed one for 80s horror films, and I can't wait.
Ooh, is it Thanksgiving?
That was not an 80s movie.
I know. We already covered it anyway.
We already covered that. No, but it is a slasher. That's all I'll say.
Well, it's funny. We did 2 turkey movies in 2 seasons. We haven't really quite done a turkey movie this year.
I didn't do one, and I don't think you're going to be doing one.
No, I didn't get to one this time.
I know. So, well, I mean, you still got, the end of this month. I'm sure you already have your movie planned for that, because you have 2 movies left, and I've got one. Well, I've got one that's coming out, and then another one that you'll be a part of. And then then we will both be a part of. So the last month, we will both be a part of the our episodes to kind of close up the year, which I think is kind of perfect, especially since we are planning to try to do episodes where we're together more, and stuff, because that was the one thing I was like, I was talking to my brother before I left to go to LA, and I said, "Oh, we're splitting up the movies and stuff. It's kind of like we're divorcing and we're taking our our things and doing our stuff with it." And he was like, he thought it sounded horrible, that like why would you do, why wouldn't you guys be together or whatever? We didn't have Zoom back then, so we were planning to not just, I would do stuff in LA, you would do stuff in Virginia, and we would, like say, screw that. But because of the power of Zoom, we are able to actually get together and do this stuff. So we are planning to do more episodes where we are together, because I would prefer that anyway,
Means I get to torture Moody more. Woo-hoo!
I know. He did that to me anyway, because he would ask me before Zoom, he would ask me to watch these movies and give my little 5-minute review at the end of the podcast and stuff. Some of them were terrible, but one of them got a 10 from both you and Lenore, and got like a 9 from me, which you were not expecting at all. You thought I was going to hate it, I guess, but I don't know.
That was Creeping Terror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, such a bad movie.
Terrible movie, but I didn't think it was a 10, I mean,
Wow,
I've seen
that's
worse.
amazing.
I've seen worse. If it's got Breen in the name, it's worse for sure. And we've had
we didn't get a Neil Breen movie this season yet. So,
I don't. I mean, you never know.
And that's okay. There are a number of directors whose movies that we covered in the first couple of seasons we didn't quite get to, and that's fine, because there's just so much out there, and I don't want to be predictable. I don't want people to say, "Oh, well, we know he's going to do this, we're going to do that." I want to be able to say, "Hey, we have a wide variety of films and a wide variety of directors that we pull from."
Exactly. So, I mean, it's okay we don't do Neil Breen. It's okay if we don't do Dave Wascovich. It's okay if we don't, what I mean? Because these guys, I mean, we'll get to their movies again.
We'll do them. It just doesn't have to be every year.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be every year, and we love them. I mean, even the ones that we're like, oh my God, this is terrible. We love, we love it because it's terrible. Which people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And we are trying to spread that love all over the universe.
I know. That's why we created this show, to be honest. I mean, we created it because we were watching these movies and we wanted to torture everybody else, to watching these movies.
They give me profound enjoyment, and they will give profound enjoyment to you as well.
So, with that being said, like, that's also another reason why I created other shows like Horror Film Lovers and 80s horror films, and you're doing Forgotten Horror Classics and Sleazecast. You go for the worst ones if you can. Sleazecast or whatever. Forgotten Horror Classics is more,
I really like the obscure stuff. I really do like movies that have flown under the radar for whatever reason, and sort of introducing people to that, because one of the things that I have done over my lifetime is I've searched out stuff that was not available or obvious or supported by Hollywood, because there's just so much that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you never saw it on TV or you never saw it advertised, it doesn't exist to a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there. Some of it's good, some of it's awful, but a lot of it is very entertaining and needs to be shown to people, and people will be able to see it and say, "Oh, wow, this is kind of interesting," or "Man, that was terrible, but I had a lot of fun watching." There's just a ton out there.
And that brings me to the point of a lot of stuff of what we want to do with, indie or Sick Flick TV too. We want to have some content on there that, especially like public domain movies that not a lot of people have seen or something, or whatever, Paul knows a lot of those. So,
I grew up on them. Oh yeah.
I know. So we'll try to have some of those available for you guys to watch if you're like into Vincent Price or some of the more obscure movies that you never heard of that are public domain that like I think Forgotten Horror Classic has a couple of them, right? Like a couple of public domain
yeah.
movies. We'll try to put them on.
Davila's been covering some of those.
Yeah, Davila covered them. So you can actually, like, the beauty of Davila and some of the horror host shows, we haven't announced the shows that are going to come out soon.
That's right.
Really
That's
excited.
right.
There's some horror host shows that are going to come out, and there's 2 of them that I'm really excited about that will come out because January 1st is on a Friday, by the way, everybody. So January 1st is a Friday. Davila will be out that Friday, the first episode of Davila. Then Saturday will be another show. Then Sunday will be another show. So you get a whole weekend. Each weekend you'll have these horror host shows that you guys can watch that'll have these like public domain films attached to them. So it's not like you have to just watch their, them and that's it. It's literally, a whole movie. So we can't wait to share these. These are so many good fun movies, and
someday maybe even Howie the Werewolf will get his own horror host show. You never know.
I mean, I won't. I would never say never. I will say that I'm kind of bummed he wasn't on Davila. That's all I'm gonna say. But not this year, not this season, and maybe. And that's the thing. Davila, I don't know when it will return, but we're hoping 2022. Maybe it'll come back out.
I mean, we could have had a second season. It's just COVID really threw a screwball into those plans, and that's kind of one of the biggest misses that we had this year. But there was not much you can really do about that. That's a show where we have to have people there in the studio, and it's just with COVID, you just couldn't do it.
For sure. So, all right. Well, anyway, we talked your ears off and everything, and so we just want to say thank you, as we do. Me and Paul are going to chat a little bit after this, but ourselves. But thank you guys so much. This is November, and we're almost at the end of the year, and I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around. The ones that watch us all the time. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and also Patreon. We've been talking about this. We would love to have some support. I mean, just $1. We support other people with our own Patreons, and stuff. We help. This is what we love to do. So I mean, just please, whatever you can.
Yep, like, subscribe, share them. If you know of anybody who likes these kind of films, share our videos and spread the word. We could use all the help we can get.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and tune in next month. I have no idea. I have this theory that I'm not going to have a lot, and Paul will have way more than I do. But that's okay because Christmas is coming up and I just don't, and I'm coming back to Virginia. So, it'll be our last one here doing, me in California, before me and Paul meet up again. So that'll be really cool. So thank you guys for checking this out, and, join us, next month for another haul video.
We will see you on the flip side. Bye.